How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Cazz and welcome back to the channel. You're either watching this video because you don't know what debugging is and you're genuinely curious about it, or you're watching this video because someone made fun of you and told you to learn how to debug. Regardless of how you found yourself here, you are in the right place because I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about debugging your applications in Visual Studio. What you're looking at on your screen is an extremely simple program that I wrote out for this video. What happens when you run this program is, first of all, it says hello cazz, then it says 2 plus 3 equals add 2 plus 3. Of course, add being this function over here, which is supposed to add a plus b. But as we can see, we have a problem. Instead, it subtracts a plus b. So when we go ahead and run this program, we have a bit of a problem. It says hello cazz as we expect, but then it says 2 plus 3 equals -1. This is a different type of error than you're probably used to. This is a pure logical error. This is not an error with the code. This is not an error with the computer. This is an error with the programmer. And this is the perfect error for a debugger. Now, the first thing you need to understand about a debugger is that it's also a program. It's just a tool. It's something that will assist you in finding a problem. A debugger cannot tell you exactly what the problem is, nor can it give you a solution, but it does give you a different perspective into your program. And let me show you what I mean by that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a breakpoint on this line. Now, I understand you don't really know what a breakpoint is yet, but it should make sense very soon. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to come to the top here and I'm going to change release to debug, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Now, what happens when I click F5, which is the button to build and run your application, as we can see, something's happened with this breakpoint. The terminology is that the breakpoint has been hit. What's happened is our code has reached where the breakpoint was, the line where the breakpoint was. Our code has reached there. And what has happened is we've told our program to throw an exception when it hits there, and our IDE catches it, and this pauses our program. And as you'll see, if we click on our output, there is no output because we have not yet called this line. If I go ahead and set another breakpoint, over here at the top, we have all of these controls. I'm going to go ahead and hit the continue button over here, which will go to the next breakpoint. If we go ahead and check the output, as you can see, we have our output as expected. So I'm going to stop debugging and I'm going to take a few steps back. The first thing we did was we set a breakpoint. Now, as I've explained, a breakpoint is essentially a point in your program that you are telling your IDE to stop your program, right? Obviously, Visual Studio comes with a built-in debugger. Visual Studio is the IDE in question that we're using. Visual Studio allows us to set breakpoints over here on the left of every line that you desire. You can even set it where there isn't code. And what happens is your code is then going to run line by line, and when it hits the line of the breakpoint, it's going to freeze. And this is extremely powerful. Let me show you why. If I go ahead and create an int, let's just call it I and set it to 10. If I set a breakpoint over here, which is fine, and I go ahead and click F5, as you can see, this tab down here, we have one called autos and one called locals. As you can see, it shows the value of I, because I over here is a local variable. Now, obviously, once again, this is very obvious. We can see the value of I over there, but you can imagine that if I was set elsewhere in the program, we can actually see right now that I, at this point in the program, is equal to 10. Anyway, one of the things I did in the beginning was I changed from release to debug. And essentially, whenever you create a Visual Studio project, Visual Studio automatically generates a release and a debug configuration for you. Now, what these configurations do is it's actually exactly what you might think. Release is for a final sort of production build, whereas debug is for if you intend to debug or test your program. And the difference is that when you compile in release, your compiler is going to optimize considerably more aggressively, which means that essentially you can't debug because the code that you see is not going to match the code that's been compiled because it's been optimized, which means that you can't necessarily debug. But you'll see here, if I switch to release, we can still debug. I'll set a breakpoint over here, and if I go F5 and run, as you can see, we still do hit the breakpoints, but we have a problem. As you can see, it no longer shows the value of the local variable, and you might be wondering why. That's because this variable has been completely optimized out. It doesn't exist. So this is why you should prefer to build and debug when you do in fact want to debug. Anyway, let's go back. So we know that we have a logical error in this program, but imagine we didn't. Let's sort of think about how we would go about solving this problem. I'd start by setting a breakpoint in the main function, and that's essentially going to prove that our program is being run. So let's go ahead and switch to debug, and let's run this program, F5. As you can see, we've hit our breakpoint. Now we have a whole bunch of useful buttons up here. This button is called step into, and what step into is going to do is it's going to step into the next instruction. So if I go ahead and click step into, as you can see, it moved to the next line. There's no breakpoint on this line, but our execution is still paused on this line. I can go ahead and step into again and again. Oh, okay, would you look at that? So we're at the point where we want to print. We know that this is where our problem is, and it takes us into this function. We step in, okay, 2 and 3, and we can now obviously notice that we have made a typo. Hopefully you will notice. And we can continue and we can see, oh, okay, this is the wrong value over here. So the error must have been in the previous line. Over here on this side, we have a Callstack, and the Callstack will basically keep track of different functions that are being called. So let me make another function over here. We can call this sub, and sub can also be reverse, I guess. And what I'm going to do is I'm then going to call sub, and we're going to sub 3 and 2. Now, if I go ahead and run this, oh, we had an error, I forgot. If I go ahead and run this and I hit continue, so the continue button is going to take you from one breakpoint to the next one. So it's basically going to run your program until you hit another breakpoint. So let's go ahead and hit continue. Over here, we are now at return 0. And if we take a look at this call stack, nothing changed. All right, so that basically summarizes how you debug a regular application. But what about a dynamic link library? So this is common if you're making a sort of an internal cheat, any internal cheat. You're going to be using a shared library. The Windows version of a shared library is a dynamic link library, and that's one of these. And let me tell you what, it's pretty much the same thing. We can still set breakpoints, but the actual debug process is a little bit different. So I'm going to inject this into CSGO, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I've got CSGO open, and I've got this DLL compiled. It's just called lib over here, as you can see. Now, how this process works. First of all, you're going to need to use a load library injector. That's very, very important. You cannot debug with the manual map injector, and that's because Visual Studio basically doesn't have a way of telling that your DLL has been injected because it's being manual mapped. That's the whole point, is that it doesn't use the Windows API. Well, it does, but just indirectly, right? It manual maps instead of using load library. So you're going to need to use a load library injector, and Xenos, or Zeno, I don't know how to say this. Xenos is a load library injector. So I've got CSGO open. I'm going to go ahead and open Xenos. Now, of course, the process is csgo.exe. Go ahead and add our lib.dll. So now the important part is before you inject, all you're going to do is you're going to come back to Visual Studio. You're going to go to debug. You're going to say attach the process, and you're going to have to attach to CSGO. Now, once you've attached to CSGO, nothing's happened. As you can see, if you hover over these breakpoints, it says this breakpoint will not currently be hit, and that's completely correct because we haven't even injected our DLL yet. So let's go ahead and inject our DLL. And boom, we've just hit this breakpoint over here, right in DLL main, which is of course DLL's entry point. As we can see, let's check out what reason is equal to. We can see reason is equal to 1. What do we want it to be equal to? We want it to be equal to process attach, which it's not showing, but I know is 1. So this is correct. We can step in. We can see we are creating our thread over here. And if the thread's valid, we close the thread, return true. And now you'll find eventually after, and there we go, we just hit our cheat thread. Unfortunately, I skipped over it, but you'll see in the video, and we exited our DLL. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Actually, that's pretty much all you need to know about debugging. It really is that simple. It's just a tool that helps you find the dumb mistakes that you make as a human programmer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope it did help you. I was using Visual Studio 2022, by the way, just in case you are wondering. And yeah, I've got a Patreon. Check that out if you do want to support your boy Cazz over here. And thank you to all the people who do support me over there already. You guys are lifesavers. Regardless, hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers and peace out.